This message finds you when you've just shifted timelines. And this doesn't just feel like a shift, but this feels like you've just leaped into another quantum realm of possibilities. And what I was seeing is that you're rebuilding or upgrading your avatar in this timeline. It's like this timeline comes with that upgrade of the avatar. It reminds you of, you know when, you know when you're playing like a video game and you've finally collected enough coins along your journey and you're able to kind of trade it in with like a new fit, or you could trade it in with like new skin or some type of new shift in your look. I'm kind of seeing that with first house energy, but the way that people are seeing you has completely shifted. So that's what I'm seeing. And I was just laughing because there was someone riding by on a horse. Yeah, and there's another one because there's so many on the horse trail here. But yeah, I was seeing that the timeline in which you've just exited from has been your training ground, and it was on that timeline that you were able to kind of build enough XP that you'd be able to trade in, and that's the way that I was seeing it. So it's very much ascendant energy. It's very much the way that you see yourself is shifting. It kind of reminds you of someone looking in the mirror and they've jumped into another, fractal of themselves within the multiverse. And that one has had a completely different routine or has had a completely different lifestyle of some kind. And you're kind of going through this adjustment process. That's what it feels like. And I also feel like other people kind of adjusting to this new version of you, and it's because of this embodiment that's happened. But you have the Fool card with the death, so this isn't just an ending, it is also a new beginning. And you're not just rediscovering yourself, right? Your avatar is pretty much the form that your consciousness uses to be able to explore this realm. So it's not just on an aesthetic level in which you're shifting and you're changing and you're becoming unrecognizable, but it's also the things in which you're doing that you weren't doing before. And it's you completely embodying the physical expression of your soul mission in some way. And I'm going to show you, right? It's a timeline rebirth because you have Caterpillar. Now, Caterpillar talks about an opportunity, but this is someone that's gone through, again, like this introspective phase. They've gone into the cocoon or the chrysalis, and you've already transformed, and you're about to break free and spread your wings. And it's going to lead to you literally exploring a different kind of dimensional layer of this reality. Because if you think about a caterpillar, it goes from being on the ground, right, and being on trees and eating leaves, into having the option to fly in the sky and gain a completely different advantage point. And that's what it feels like you have right now. So it's a character that you're playing in this lifetime that's pretty much switching up. So it's an old identity that has basically expired. Maybe it's an outdated self-image, but it's the vehicle in which your higher consciousness chooses to express itself. So let me go ahead and read the caterpillar for you. So this talks about a transformation, an opportunity, and an independence from conditioned responses. Now, this is someone that is unexpectedly shifting. So I don't feel like anyone sees this coming from you, maybe not even yourself, to the level, the degree that this will be, because I'm seeing like 29 degrees and a 0 degrees, which is, it's an anoretic degree. So it's a karmic critical point where a vital lesson is learned and then that's brought forth into a new stage of your life. So the energy of the caterpillar appears, heralding a time of transformation and opportunity. Here you're being asked to advise. Okay, and you know what's funny with the caterpillar and butterfly? I'm getting a message around you, and it's like you're having a new lifetime within this life, because if you think about it, the caterpillar and the butterfly, that transformation happens in one lifetime, and I'm seeing a butterfly right now, and it just feels like, again, there's this. And it completely changes its form as well. If you think about it, it's like consciousness gets to express itself completely differently. The soul gets to have a completely different physical experience in this realm. And it's because of something that's happened within it, right? It's something that's happened behind closed doors. Okay, so here you're being asked to revise your dreams. If it looks and smells familiar, step away from the time being. The new cannot emerge from the old, and the youthful and vital cannot emerge from the aged and sickly. Experiment and surprise yourself with what arises for you at this moment. So you may even surprise yourself in regards to what it is that you now feel capable to do, that maybe there were like limiting belief systems that were kind of holding you back or governing the internal universe, right, within you experiencing itself through human form. So the caterpillar is an invitation to test out a new strategy and get different and better results. Remember, the definition of lunacy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. This is removing habitual responses, and it's time to surprise yourself and startle others, eliciting a frown or look of awe from those around you. So you're definitely going to inspire some. You're definitely going to confuse others, right? But it feels like there's going to be a hypnotic fascination either way, just because of how profound, evident, and physical this transformation is for you. So yeah, do not wait for an invitation from life to practice a little bit of outrageousness or for permission to do the unexpected. This reminds me of the quote around, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And this is so that energy. It's like maybe you went through this reclusive introspective phase, right, where you were kind of hermiting away. Or again, you were going into this cocoon phase, right? It kind of reminds you of Scorpio season. That's pretty much Scorpio season, where there's an internal hidden transformation that you can't see underneath the surface, right? And it's fixed, so it's very, very focused. It's where you kind of gain tunnel vision, and then you kind of begin to expand your horizons. When we enter into Sagittarius season, it's where you break free, you go on an adventure, you explore, you're more courageous. And I just feel like those are the universal energies that are moving through you, right? Or the matrices. So yeah, sometimes the most original response is no response whatsoever. Stand stock still, staring steadily in the eyes of the players in your drama and avoiding engagement until the moment is right. The caterpillar invites you to witness the story unfolding, knowing that deciding on the timing of your action is just as essential as finding the right time to make the move. When you do act, let there be no doubt in anyone's mind of the power and determination that you unleash. And what's super I'm hearing what's super helpful, but I was going to say what's super interesting. What's super helpful is that you have mindful groupthink, which is you doing something against the crowd. It's like you're extremely mindful of where your mind is, okay? It's like the opinions of others is not your burden to carry because it's linked to personal history oftentimes. So some people, okay, are definitely going to be inspired by you because you're here to mirror what infinite potential looks like. You're here to mirror what that internal work looks like. It's almost like your reward is not in the things that we achieve in this realm, but it's actually in who we become. And in who we become, we end up achieving things without even trying because we just are. And it just feels like you're entering into that complete state of being where I'm just seeing the words luminous. I feel like this is glowing. It's like a physical glow up that leads to like a universal glow up when it comes to the universe in which you're living in, you know? It just reminds you of that. So groupthink basically talks about being really mindful of where your mind is at. The one quote to sum it up is, your thoughts are seeds, you can grow flowers or you can grow weeds, which is being really mindful of where your attention goes. And I feel like your attention is coming from a place where it's kind of being scattered and maybe focused on those around you in regards to how you were going to be perceived in some way. And it's like now you've entered into a season where you have turned that energy inwards, right? It's like the light that folds back into itself, and you're becoming a witness to your own. It's like you don't need to seek external approval or acceptance or permission because it compromises your integrity in the process. If you need a witness, become your own. And it's like you've been able to become your own witness in regards to these wings. But the thing is, you know how butterflies can't see their own wings? That's what it reminds me of. It's like you're realizing that you now have wings because of how like the looks that you're receiving. That's what I'm seeing it as, where it does remind me of like a double take kind of look. It's almost like people are looking at you. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. It kind of reminds me of when I was in school. Let me tell this story. So when I was in school, I had crippling social anxiety, but I used to just admire a lot of people, but they used to think I didn't like them because I wouldn't speak very much and I was just very observative. And I remember I was looking at my teacher one day and I was looking her up and down because I noticed she was wearing all brown. Oh, that rhymed. And I really liked her outfit, right? And I was just a child. I was probably like, I don't know, 7, maybe 6. And I was just looking at her outfit from head to toe, right? So it probably looked like I was giving her the eye, right? Or just giving her, I don't know, scanning her, right? And I feel like you're being scanned by those around you right now. But the thing is, in my head, I was actually thinking, oh my gosh, like she looks so pretty and she looks so pretty today. That's what I was thinking basically. And I think the message I was trying to get from that was, it's like people are observing you, maybe having a hypnotic fascination. They may not say anything about you, but you're going to know because there's something to look at. There's something that people are admiring, even secretly. It just reminds you of you're about to have a lot of secret admirers, but you may not know it, because you've gone through this from this like full moment, right? And you're vibrating differently, and that's being noticed, right? Because this is the buoyancy energy. I will go ahead and read this, but it's like a new beginning of some kind. And then let me go ahead and share these energies with you first. So you also had the here and now. So the here and now is you being present. When you're in the present moment, you're tuning into your eternal essence. Now you also had 2 heart chakra energies that came through. Now, these are both stargates. It's higher heart activation and also the stargate of the heart. And this is basically about you seeing your interconnectedness to all things, where you're mirroring that infinite potential to those around you, around, okay, it's okay to do this thing, right? There's just something around that, but you've been loving yourself into some type of change instead of shaming yourself into some kind of change. And because of that, I feel like you're the storm that no one sees coming, because it's a storm full of love. So it's what the storm has brought to you, right? It's like the aftermath. People are about to experience the aftermath of this, and I feel like you're about to experience the aftermath of the storm too. And then you have tidal force. So this is like a huge, ripple in which you're sending out. Tidal force is also something that is, it's an event that happens because it's a gravitational pull from the lunar energies, right? From the lunar forces. So it just feels like something that is unconsciously people are going to be drawn towards you, maybe even subconsciously admiring you, and they may not even be, aware of it. And then it also just reminds you of the moon made an energy that's gone through that waning and waxing phase, and you're coming into your culmination. It's like you're coming into your full moon moment where you are kind of the main event in the night sky, if you will. So let me go ahead and read the full for you. It's a beautiful energy. It's definitely one of the most powerful death cards in this deck. There's a couple death cards, but this one is directly linked to a new beginning. So let me find it. The full... Yeah, here it is. Okay, here is the death and the fall. And the thing is, because this is a major arcana card, this is something that's going to continuously happen from like 6 months onwards. It's like a 6-month cycle. So I feel like this is just going to become more profound in your field. Because you're getting used to the wings and you're going to know what to do with them and where you can go with them. That's what it feels like. So new beginnings, second chances. In the beginning, there is death. It is what we often fear most and know so little about. And this is the 0 point, right? So this is the infinite field of potential that you're tuning into. It's the all and nothing simultaneously. So we imagine it as a soundless dark void where there is nothing everywhere. But in this oracle, death marks the start. Perhaps it is here that we can finally see death as not an impending force of doom we so fear, but rather an escort to our next chapter. It is the end of a cycle that opens a door for a new lifetime to unfold. And that's what I mean. It's a new lifetime within this lifetime, because death is not the end. It's a glimpse into new dimensions where new stories get to play out. Dimensions of frequencies. And because you're operating in a new frequency, each frequency comes with its own, geometric structure. It's a self-organized system. So it's a frequency of thought. You've been elevating your thoughts with groupthink, right? Which has been elevating also your emotional state. And because of that, you have been able to actually sustain this highly conducive way of being, right? It's almost like abundance has become your dominant vibration in some way. There's just something around that, right? Upgrades. So if death comes up in a reading, do not be alarmed. Take the hand that guides you as it belonged to an old friend and grab it tightly, for death in this oracle is a sign of life. It can represent a grand new beginning, a second chance at living. So just when the caterpillar thought it was over, it was like that timeline was over, that version of itself was over, because it was loving itself enough to love itself at every stage of its evolution. That's what it reminds me of. It's kind of like the glow up from, the person that was overlooked maybe in like high school, and then they're, it's just one of those things. It kind of reminds us when someone kind of glows up from their hometown and it's like, oh, I knew them, but when I knew them back then, it was like completely different. So it feels like you're entering into a season of your life where you're no longer reinforcing the same expectations that those have had around you. Therefore, it's leading to a breakdown of that nucleus of a family, and it's leading to you building something new, some type of new momentum, some type of new image, just something different that you're doing, right? So beginnings can be restorative, and it is more often than not that we forget to realize the beauty and the infinity of things. And this is the beauty in that stark contrast. I feel like this is the beauty in you kind of experiencing both sides of the coin. That's what it feels like. You've been experiencing both sides of the coin. So yeah, this is you choosing the roles that you no longer want to play and really giving yourself permission to shift. It definitely reminds you of a death card energy. It's where your previous version had served its purpose, but your soul is now asking for you to step forward into this upgraded template, and that also comes with resonant experiences that are tuned into this octave of yourself. So right now it feels like you're going through like an installation phase. You know, when you have like an app on your phone or your computer and you need to upgrade the app and it comes with like new hardware, it kind of fixes the old bugs. So this is like old thought forms, ways of feeling or thinking about yourself that were not really highly conducive towards your journey. It's like you're now able to explore maybe new habits, maybe it's a new discipline, a new environment, cosmic lessons in which you've undergone. It's like your skills are upgrading during the season. Maybe you've been kind of mastering something behind the scenes, because it reminds you of like a 8 of Coins energy where someone's in this deep introspective analysis process where they're studying, they're perfecting their craft. And then an 8 of Coins upright is almost like now they're going to be sought out after the gifts that they've actually been cultivating behind the scenes. That's what it feels like you're going through, right? It's been some kind of shadow integration where you've gained mission, clarity about your mission in some aspect. So it definitely reminds me of you kind of stepping into a magician. It's like this is the magician act. It's like this is the best magic trick that you're ever gonna do in your life. You know, that's what it feels like. It's the best magic trick that others are going to witness you perform. So let me go ahead and get one card right now for the new energy. Okay, tell me about the new energy. What comes after the death and the fall? Okay, ready? Ooh, the Hermit and the Cosmic Tree. This is awesome, right? Because this is introspection, but it also talks about the bridge. The bridge of vulnerability is the only bridge to connection. So this could be you finally putting yourself out there in some way, or something that you've been perfecting, something that you've been crafting, and it's going to allow others to kind of intersect with you or whatever it is that you've been doing. But the Hermit is someone that transverses on this journey. And they have this 8-pointed starseed of wisdom that illuminates the next few steps of their journey or their path. And they can see the end goal, right? They can see point A, they can see point B, but what lies in between is quantum. It's unknown. And because of that, there's some kind of surprise element that awaits you as you navigate some type of new terrain or as you forge some type of new path. That's also what it feels like. Let me go ahead and read this depiction as well real quick. And again, this is another major arcana. So you don't have just minor arcanas or cool cards in that case. You have catalyst cards, right? So the Cosmic Tree and the Hermit, this talks about reaffirming some type of inner truth. So this is the epicenter of all souls. It's where we all come from and where we will one day return. It has so many names over time. It feels like, again, you're stepping into the realization that you can reshape yourself or your life as many times until it feels like home, right? Until it feels comfortable. So it's the root of the collective unconscious. It shows up in a reading to offer guidance through the collective unconscious. Take it as a positive affirmation that the path that you're on is the right one, and that in contemplation comes understanding and growth. Trust that the truth that you seek is buried within the fibers of your own being. Understand that knowing your inner truth may require isolation. Spend some time with yourself in the quiet. There is a seed that needs nurturing. That's beautiful. It's almost like, again, and then you have infinite paths at the base, which is a beautiful card. It's also a location card, so it's almost like you're arriving to a new time within yourself. And time is consciousness traveling into a new event, right? Or a new event collapsing itself around the form that your consciousness is taking on. It just feels like you're going to be going through kind of a microphone drop moment, but then you're disappearing backstage. It kind of reminds me of the first act when you watch like a show in a theater, and it's like the first act and then the lights go dark and then there's like a costume change behind the scenes before this new event happens. I feel like we're going to be doing something incrementally where it feels like someone's releasing something, they're working on something behind the scenes. You know, it's almost like an artist and they're working on something, they release that, they create another piece and then they release that. It almost feels like we're going through that stage. It's almost like when people see you, you're not ever the same. It's like you're forever shape-shifting or changing. You know, it's almost like, again, it's like your wings are shape-shifting. You know, I'm seeing you again as a multidimensional being kind of take on these different forms. But you had blue wings and then you had red wings, and they're like, wait, how did you do that? And then while they're still comprehending how you did that, it's like something else happens and now you have yellow, and it's like, what? I just feel like something is going to be mind-blowing. It kind of reminds me of never let them know your next move. You know, first to confuse the enemies, first confuse yourself. But because when there's no enemy within, there really is no enemy without. So it just feels like there's a whole bunch of eliciting a surprising reaction. That's what it feels like. So with that being said, I'm going to love any of you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. You have 2 discount codes for that down below as well. So definitely take advantage, and I'll speak to you very soon. Until next time, bye!